Alright, quick check. Balance seems good. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we last left off where we pretty much completed this game. However, I'm looking at it right now, and apparently this minigame isn't open. I was going to use this minigame to grind up free lives, but to do that, I'm going to have to replay this level, which not the worst thing in the world, but since this is a tutorial level, it's basically just going to be quick little breeze where we try to ignore all the tutorial aspects, get all the doubloons, and move on with the game. Shouldn't take too long for us to get caught up and all that. But yeah, we're gonna need the extra lives because if you watched the previous episode, video, however you want to put it, if you watched the other part, I was getting destroyed in that last level, so I need everything I can get, all the help I can get in the world. So we're gonna get this thing started, move right along, and we're gonna get past this as quickly as we possibly can, and make a beeline for the last level. Now, when I last played this, I was having a lot of trouble figuring out what to do with the last boss, how to hit it. So I'm not gonna lie, I looked it up because I wasn't planning on spending tons of time trying to figure out how to damage the boss, especially because the whole time I'm trying to figure it out, I'm going to be getting hit and losing time and effort, etc., etc. And while I love this game, and while it's a fun game, this isn't the kind of game you put extreme amounts of effort into. Like, the fact that we almost completely beat it the first time we streamed it, it's kind of at the point for me where I feel like, okay, we've got the full grasp of what this game is about. Let's move on. So, while I'm not going to like rush this game and its ending because I hate it, it's more like I really wanted answers and I didn't feel like I was going to get a whole lot more of a fun experience out of learning every aspect of the boss. This isn't like a Zelda game where, you know, you're fighting the bosses to learn and the patterns and stuff are going to help you later. This is the end of the game. We're done with it. So, that being said, I know how to beat the boss and I know exactly what we're going to do. We just need to get some extra lives first to, you know, make getting there just a little bit easier. And I did check. I checked the password is correct and all of that. So it is 100% the correct password with all the 100% stuff done. For some reason, this minigame just didn't stay unlocked. It didn't. I don't know if I did something wrong. I know I did this minigame last time. So it's a little weird, but we'll get it done quick. We'll get some free lives. It'll be over with and we can move on. That being said, if you are coming into this and you've never seen this game before, check out the previous video. It's going to be in a playlist with this one as well, so it'll all be in one place. It's a very fun game from the early 2000s, very enjoyable, and it has a lot of character. It feels like a fun game, pretty well designed. I really enjoyed it playing it as a kid, and I'm ready to finally beat this game that I didn't get to finish when I was younger. I'm looking forward to being able to put this game to bed. And then our next 5th cycle game, I'm probably going to start immediately after. Mostly because I think this is going to be pretty short. I don't think we're going to be here all night doing this. If we are, I'm going to be a little frustrated, I'm not going to lie. But I don't think it's going to come to that. I hope it's not going to come to that. But we've entered the new year. All that good stuff. I have quite a few things planned as far as streams ahead of us. I'm going to try to learn like video editing, maybe make some cool trimmed down videos and stuff. You know, make it a more enjoyable. Okay, yes. The password. I must have done something wrong because the password is different now. That's weird. I wonder what I did wrong. It's got 3 question marks instead of 2. I wonder how that happened. Well, let's go ahead. Right, that's one. That's cool. I've never played this far into this minigame. Nice. Alright, I think that's where we're going to cut this round. We're just going to lose immediately because now I'm starting to have trouble keeping up because my memory is terrible. Let's see. Do I want to do that again? Yeah, probably. It seems like the easiest and fastest way to get lives. There's a couple of other mini games that I can go through whole levels for, but I don't want to go through the effort of going through a whole level to get free lives. We can just do this. Alright, one more, I think. Alright, perfect. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's see how we do with 10. So the biggest thing about this, the most difficult thing about this is mostly that we have got to go ahead and get all the doubloons if we game over. And I don't remember where the checkpoints are. I think there's definitely a checkpoint at the boss, but I don't want to go out of the way doing tons of what do you call it? I don't want to go out of the way, do a ton of time spending a ton of time redoing the level over and over again. So I'm going to work really hard to not die, which I just immediately did, of course. Well, not died, but you saw. Ow. And that sucks. We'll be fine though. Get up there. I don't know. Apparently these platforms spin. Yeah, I don't know what causes or when the platforms spin. I don't know the timing on that. So I'm sure that's going to catch me off guard at a bad time. That I should have blown the bubble first. That's alright. Getting the doubloons out of the way is going to help a lot. Hopefully, anyway. In my dreams. Come on, get down here, Greenie. There we go. That was very close. It was almost unfortunate. And I missed. Yep. I might want to go back and get more lives. I'm not 100% sure yet. But it's fine. It's still early. Let's not get panic-stricken yet. That's unfortunate. Okay. The one thing about this game that, for the type of game that it is very impressive to me, is the platforming is actually pretty tight. Like, you think it's not that tough, and then you realize, oh boy, this actually has a little bit more difficulty to it than you might have expected. That was a lot of my experience with the game when I was younger, that I was impressed with how much trouble I had with it. And I spent a lot of time learning a lot about this game. Oh, you know what? I forgot. These will help me jump more, because these give a little boost to your jumps. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. That's going to make it a little bit easier. And see, that's what I mean when I'm talking about, like, the depth. There's stuff like that, like, a lot of games of this type, which, you know, they're about, like, a cartoon TV show. They're just like, you know, hi, look, kids, this is merchandise about thing that you like. They don't have a whole lot of depth. They're just cash grabs. This is actually a very fun game to play, and I enjoy it greatly. And still do enjoy it. As you see, I'm playing it. I died. So we keep the doubloons after the lives at the very least. This will help me clear these gaps a little bit better. And if I run, I think that also helps too. Yeah. Okay, now we're playing the game properly. Sort of. Yeah, definitely sort of playing the game properly. But yeah, learning to play the game and learning like how the bosses work was really fun. I do feel kind of bad I didn't necessarily figure out the Dutchman myself, but again, this isn't the kind of game that I spent. Oh my goodness, that's unfortunate. That I would spend tons of time on, not because it doesn't deserve it, but because I've spent so much time on it already. I'm ready to finish it. Like, a great example of this would be if I ever get a chance to stream it. There is this old Grinch game for the PlayStation 1 that was basically, it was tasks oriented around ruining Whoville's Christmas, and it came out right around the time of the Jim Carrey Grinch movie. It was how to put it? Wow, it wasn't an incredibly deep game for what I remember, but it was interesting. It had a lot of like different collection variables where like you were trying to complete tasks that messed up like the Whoville Christmas, as well as looking for like blueprints to make machines to make that easier. It was very interesting. And it was a game I remember fondly, not because I loved playing it because I got very far in it, but because I remember always really wanting to beat it and never being able to for one reason or another. It just worked out that I either didn't have time to play it, or I wasn't able to. I didn't have access to the console or the memory cards to save progress on it. So I was always pretty much repeating the first level. But it wasn't by any means like, I wouldn't consider it a bad game. It was just a PlayStation 1 game, and PlayStation 1 games were very incredibly varied and wonderful things. I really miss. I don't remember pressing down, but okay. I really miss that era of video games where people didn't feel like they knew what worked and what didn't, and so they were experimenting with just about everything. PlayStation 1 and 2 especially had such varied and interesting libraries due to the fact that they were always experimenting, and they'd put anything on those consoles. Literally anything would wind up as a game on those consoles. It was incredible. So you'd have these wonderful gems. Like, I remember this game called The Grand Stream Saga. I never played it, but I remember really wanting to play it. Just a really cool RPG. To things just like your 3600 arcade game classic, what do you call it, compendiums, which again, loved just playing around with those types of games, loved playing those types of games. There was so much, it was a great time in gaming where you could just pick up and play something. You never knew what the experience would be, or if it would be good or bad. You just went for it, and it was fun. It was great. There we go. And this game really feels like that. This is one of those games that really feels like, it was part of that expression of just trying stuff out. What can you do with not just an IP, but what can you do with the games in general? Like, how far can you push the games? What can you do to make it fun? Just so much. So many cool things that existed back then that I feel like the games don't have necessarily the charm that they used to back then. Just because, again, they know what works and they're only going to do that. Which, I get it. These companies, they have to make money and they have to, earn in order to make these games. But it was just special. It was really cool. A game like that I've never gotten to play, but I'd love to play, is God Hand. God Hand, I don't know if you'd call it incredibly experimental, but definitely from that era of, they didn't know what worked, so they went for it. And I would love to play God Hand. I saw someone play it years ago, and I swear, they said they liked it, but it was one of the games, they got so angry with it consistently. They were absolutely livid with that game by the end of it. It was just, and I think they were also playing it like an incredibly hard way. Like, it definitely wasn't helped by the incredible difficulty they were playing on. But wow, they were mad. That game frustrated them so much. And I want to feel that. I want to know if it's that bad. That being said, I'm also the guy who, within 10 minutes of playing Devil May Cry 3 for the first time, unlocked easy mode immediately. So, whether I could handle God Hand, very different story. And this is pretty much how I remember this level going last time. I spent a ton of time here, and then this isn't even like the meat of the level. This is tip of the iceberg of this level. So I really need to get a move on it and focus on the platforming. Let go of the R button there. Bubble him. There we go. Yep. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Much better. Ooh, don't do that. So I think the way checkpoints in this game work is they work like for every door you get a checkpoint. I think here is getting to the point where we're almost at a door. Oops. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's okay. Don't want to die right now. Not good. Not what you want to see. This level is also somewhat long compared to some of the other ones, but there are less collectibles. And for the most part, the collectibles involved with this part of the level, with this particular game, are pretty necessary to the level. Like you have to save all of SpongeBob's friends, but that's necessary for progression. I think the only thing that's not necessary for progression that I'm really collecting in this level is the doubloons. But that's also because we're so close to 100% in the game. Why not get all the doubloons? Yes, do your thing. Do your thing, random Monsters Inc. character. Alright. Cool. Got him. Alright. Is that really too high? That sucks. A little lower. There we go. Nice. Okay. There is one problem. I'm not going to be able to backtrack if I miss any doubloons. So, depending on how I feel about this whole process, once we get to the point where we have to worry about that, may or may not 100% the game. I don't want to think about that. Okay, cool. Oh, is it because I bubbled that one too close? Maybe. Take that, though. That'll help out. Okay, perfect. There's gonna, yep, that one there. Alright. I do like the way this level combines like all the different enemies from every area in the game. You have every obstacle is reused in some way, or at least it seems that way, along with some new ones. Don't you dare. Okay. I think they reuse just about every obstacle. Okay, there's the boat. Okay. This is where we kind of get to the nitty-gritty of this level. If I remember correctly. Yeah, so there's steam that can hurt you, and then there's these ghosts that can just take you out with one attack. So that's what we got to be careful about, especially is those ghosts. Yeah, that guy. Look at him. Yeah, and I can't hurt him at all. Gotta be very careful about that. Ow. Unfortunate. Forgot about the Donkey Kong. Platforms here. You know what? I think that's repeatable. Let me see. Because if that's repeatable, we will take advantage of it. It is, and we're going to. This is the type of game where you can't feel, bad about abusing the aspects of it. Because, I mean, the game doesn't feel bad about abusing you. Alright, just gonna clear that, not a problem. I didn't see the jellyfish, wasn't paying enough attention. That's fine, we can work around that. Come on, come down, Greenie. Should probably just double check down here and make sure there isn't anything. Okay, yeah, that's just a fall. The boots are like the best item, oh my gosh. Very powerful. Just as in any platforming game, increased movement speed and increased movement ability in general is just always the best. It's always what you want. There's a jellyfish there. This down here is a door. What's over here? I can't get over that. Okay. So I think I need to get a different kind of bubbles. And that's a funky jump. Got it though. Oh, careful. Just a door there. I don't think it's open yet though. I think we have to do something in a different room to open it. I don't remember. We're gonna bubble that guy and glide over. Yeah, okay, I can't open those yet. So we're gonna jump off of those jellyfish there. Honestly, this is one of those times where I'm like especially glad to be playing certain kinds of games. Like, this is one of those great games where, you know, I was able to find a copy of it and complete it. There's another game, Pac-Man World, that I played a lot as a kid on the PlayStation 1 that I never got to finish as a kid. That they came out with the version on the Switch. I was so happy because that's a game that I just absolutely loved and I never got to finish as a kid. And even though the new game, the remaster, remake, however you want to call it, is just a bit different and has a few differences about it, I was really happy to see through that childhood dream of beating that game. And I'm definitely going to get the original and replay it someday so I can, you know, really finish it properly. But I gotta say, from what I remember, the remake held up really well. I definitely changed some things, I think, to make them easier. But it also changed a few things to just make them... Oh, that scared me. Whew. To just make them different in general. And that was more about, I think, upgrading the game in general to keep it more in line with... Whoa. More in line with what you'd expect to see from, you know, games in general. It wasn't about like, oh, hey, this game is garbage and we're going to change a bunch of things to make it more palatable. They modernized it in a way where it felt very cool. There was a couple of minor sound changes I was a little bit disappointed about just because certain of the sounds stuck out so well in my memory that I was just like, I wish it still had that classic sound design. But overall, it really was wonderful. I enjoyed it so much. And that's one of the things I know a lot of people struggle with when it comes to remakes and remasters is, did they keep the original spirit proper, you know? This is tricky. Okay, yeah, I just gotta get it while I'm falling. Perfect. Okay, there we go. I'll be real careful with this guy. No. No. Oh, that was very close. There's something up there? Yes, there is. I can break that, so I should break that. There we go. That button. I spend a lot of time praising games like this, mostly because I think it's impressive what they did with, like, again, random things they sort of just, like, went with and go for it. And I want to be, like, fully transparent. This game is not without its flaws. Again, with a game like this where the platforming is very tight, there are some weird discrepancies, and certain physics in the game can be kind of jarring to deal with. A great example... Oh, no. That's actually really bad. I might be screwed. A perfect example is what you saw just there a few minutes ago when I was trying to get into that little crevice. That's one of SpongeBob's abilities to dodge enemies. He gets into one of those little crevices because he's box shaped. But the thing is like you saw, you're pressing the jump button to get in there because you're using the same button that is your jump button. Sometimes it activates your glide, sometimes it doesn't work at all. And that can be tough in situations where, hey, this enemy really sucks. I don't want to be hurt or touched by him at all. Well, the game's like, well, get over it because you got to deal with it the way we designed it. And that can be kind of tough. It sort of comes with the territory of things like this, where it's like, again, the tightness of the expectation of your handling of the game is a bit extreme. I think the best way to put it, you know. 30 doubloons left. Looks like we're making progress. I don't think I've missed anything so far. And we've got 7 lives. We should be okay. There's Sandy, and we got the bounce bubbles again. I need 25 more doubloons, and we should be progressing properly. I don't think I've missed anything. I really hope I haven't. This is a level that's tough enough without having to repeat it a bajillion times. But thankfully, I feel like once you get past that first area, everything feels pretty handleable. Alright, 15 more. Ooh, close. Alright. Gotta do a little jumpy jump again. Just tap it in, just a little tappy tap. Alright, I think it just crawl under those. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, that's all the doubloons. Alright, we're good to go. Less good, but still good. There's Mr. Krabs. Okay. Excellent. And there's Squidward. Acting all, like you weren't helping him. Alright, and now we're time for the boss. Alright, so I didn't memorize the page or anything like that. So we gotta dodge the fire. Oh, not that button. Oops. Gotta dodge the fire, and we gotta like hit something back at him. Okay. Okay, and then we gotta knock these back at him, I think. You hit him with the bubble, and then we knock... You hit him with the bubble when he blows the fire. And then we hit these back at him. Which is going to be harder than anticipated. Okay, cool. Okay, there we go. That's damage. Alright, yep. That's him being damaged. Okay. Yeah, last time I was trying to figure out if we were hitting him or not with the bubbles. Because it didn't look like it was doing damage to him, but then again, you know, when you first meet a boss, you don't know what counts as damage or not. And then I was trying to hit those, but nothing was happening. Okay. It's definitely a little tricky. I think we should be able to do it, though. Don't know how many times we need to do it is the problem. Unfortunate. Also unfortunate. This is going to be trickier than I thought it was. Just learning the fight was not all that needed to be done. It looks like we can beat him without taking damage though if we're careful. If we time it just right. I think it's important we try to stay in one place if possible, rather than trying to chase him around. That didn't work for whatever reason. Okay. Okay. Okay, not bad. That was decent. That didn't work for whatever reason. Cool. That's unfortunate. And again, because I don't know how many hits he's going to take, this is a little tough. Yeah, I definitely have to hit the barrels while they're in the air. But that is more difficult than I anticipated it would be. Okay. Oh, okay, that's new. So now he's screaming at me. How do I handle that? Okay, I duck. Not bad. Alright. So, I think maybe we can assume we're about halfway through the fight now because he's doing something new. Is that it? Did we do it? We did it! Nice! I wish I was the toughest sponge in all of Bikini Bottom. I wish we had our own rock band. I wish we all had new haircuts. I wish I was a success. I wish I was the star of my own cartoon show. I wish my friends and I could star in our own video game. Okay, alright. I think these are all actually different endings. We're just going to do one. So we're going to go with the one that I think is going to be the most fun. And we're going to go with, I wish we all had new haircuts. Okay. Yeah. Right decision. Very, very cool. So multiple endings. Maybe I'll address that one day. But that was cool. That was very cool. And that will be the end card. That's very cool. So we beat this game in 37 minutes. Obviously that's not all the time, but we'll leave this here and we'll switch to our next game. That's very cool. That's very cool. Okay. All right. So we'll let that be right there. That's SpongeBob, The Revenge for the Flying Dutchman. Very cool. I'm glad to have seen it to the end. Very awesome. All right. I'm going to be back in a beat with our next game.